Created to protect the rights of the investor, the Convention of Independent Financial Advisors, better known as CIFA, opened its 10th International Forum on Wednesday in Monaco, bringing in hundreds of financial experts and top UN officials to focus on the 2012 election year with the theme, What Challenges for the International Financial System, Ethics, Politics and Finance.
Europeans are now more divided than ever. As for the Americans, all political decisions and discussions remain blocked in the U.S. Congress. Even the Dodd-Frank Act, which was supposed to curb the speculative excesses and the insatiable greed of certain bankers, has been challenged.
National governments have a responsibility to maximize the capacity of financial markets to promote equitable growth. They are trustees for those under their authority.
For the first time in the history of the humankind, the economic and financial system, we may like or not like it, have become, in fact, totally integrated all around the planet. Markets never stops, 24 hours a day, and abide substantially by the same rules, the same hopes, expectations, and fears.
From 2008 to today, the global financial crisis has left consumer wealth in decline to the tune of trillions of US dollars, forced people out of their homes, increased unemployment to staggering rates, and drove 44 million more people into poverty between June 2010 and February 2011 as food prices soared to their highest levels ever, according to the World Bank. This has left more than 1 billion people hungry today, according to the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization.
Business enterprises should avoid causing adverse human rights impacts through their own activities, working with due diligence and respecting legislation and regulations of their respective jurisdictions.
It's the time to think about bringing back values and ethics, sense of cooperation, and otherwise we might face even increasingly difficult times.
In its 10 years, CIFA has played a pivotal role in helping financial markets become more ethical. The forum, which will run through Friday, is aimed at boosting momentum and ultimately global action toward this direction. Financial experts have summed up the cause of the financial crisis to greed, executed by a scheme bound for destruction. CIFA's chairman said that in a digital age, governments have underestimated the public's hunger for the truth.
If you don't have the hope to receive back your capital, you don't have trust. So you withdraw your monies and you don't bank anymore, you don't go to the markets. And this is what we try to avoid, and we try to get the people understand that all finance is not only the big sharks.
Nowadays you can get wealthy by defrauding your clients, and then you can walk away wealthy with impunity. And if we allow that, we will go from economic disaster to economic disaster, and the crises will get worse and worse.
I think that the PGA, the President of the General Assembly, illustrate very well how important it is to revise the financial infrastructure, architecture that exists right now. And that's the reason why they were talking about ethics, they were talking about cooperation, and they were talking about how can we realize the importance of working together.
Participants highlighted the need for institutional reform and noted the importance of moving away from competitiveness and toward cooperation on an international scale, and noted the critical need for good governance to make the rebalancing of global economic power possible.
We have to look at the financial and economic world from a different view because what we have today is not really functioning as we want. Who will imagine that Europe today will face such a crisis? That means there is a big problem, and that should be addressed by the international United Nations.
Here at CIFA, participants honed in on the fact that the global financial system cannot continue to gamble with the world's very social fabric at stake. Afaf Kanja for South South News, Monaco.